Okay, so video number 3 about finding those positive cash flow towns. We have looked and found towns in, where was it? Where is? We have looked at Wikipedia to find populations, and we're looking at towns that are over 10,000 people in population. We've looked through parks. With the quick test calculator, we found that rental yield, we're looking at 6%, and we weren't overly excited about that. So now what we're doing is our next town, which was Cowra, which had just over 10,000 people. We're going to do exactly the same thing with Cowra. We've searched for it, we've ordered it from low to high, almost land sale. Shivers, $70,000 for a block of land. Look at this. Not a block of land, a house. $85,000, offer over 90. Look at this. Questions answered right here. Former wartime bakery, rental appraisal $110 per week. Offers above $90,000. So maybe they're dreaming, but let's go in here. We'll go $90,000 and rental appraisal $110 per week. Again, 6.36%, not something to get overly excited about. This $70,000 property, blah, blah, blah. No talk of rental yield there. This $85,000 property, possible rental return of $120 per week. Okay, price $85,000 negotiable. Well, that's interesting. So let's go into our $85,000, and we're now looking at $120 per week. So rental return 7.34%, which is a bit better, but still not fantastic. Let's say we could negotiate the price down 10 grand, 75,000, you're looking at 8.32%. Now that's looking much healthier. So Cowra, potential. I'd have to look into the properties more, learn the market more, but there's potential for some good cheap property here that could be positive cash flow. Now, what I want to do is go back to another town and show you the difference that you can find in different towns in terms of rental yield. Alright. We're going back down to Sydney, and what we're going to look at is this town called Moree. Okay, we can see that there's all the roads going into it. Again, Google, we're going to go Moree, New South Wales, wiki. So to bring up Wikipedia. Booyah, there it is. And let's look for the population. We can see here population 9,346, and that was based on the 2007 census. So I'd want to get the 2011 census data in there to find out whether or not that town's over 10,000, but it's definitely very close to that $10,000 mark. Now, would I want to live in Moree? Probably not. You can read a bit about it here. Talks about different things about the town. Would I want to live there myself? No. Could I invest there in property? Probably, definitely. Anyway, let's have a look at Moree, and we're going to do the exact same process we've done before, which we did with Parks and Cowra, and we're going to look in Moree. Price low to high. Oh my goodness, $55,000. This is crazy times. Can you believe you can buy a house for $55,000? Under $100,000. Invest in me. $110,000, $105,000. Look at all these cheap properties. Okay, so let's see, $55,000. This is crazy. Previous lose as office. Doesn't have any information on the rental yield of that property. What about Barwon Avenue? $89,000, comfortable 3-bedroom. Again, no information. $110,000, invest in me. Currently returning $180 per week. Okay, we're looking at $110,000. So let's go back to our quick test calculator, punch in our numbers. $110,000 renting for $180 per week. So that's 8.5% with just the first property that I found that shows you your rental yield. What about this Adelaide Street one? That's currently renting for $160 per week and they're charging $105,000 for it. So it's not going to be as good as the 110 one. Let's just have a quick look at a couple of others. That looks like the same property. Brick and title with tenant in place. That means they'll tell us what it is. Affordable home or investment. Now, not all towns are going to show you the rental yield in the description. Obviously, these real estate agents are trying to get investors into these properties. Rental income of $190 per week, and that's $108,000. So if we go $108,000 renting for $190 per week, woo! 9.15%. Now that is a good rental return. Anything over 9% I think is pretty good. Obviously it's up to you as to what is good for you, but Moree, based on rental returns alone, you know, it's looking pretty sharp. So that's kind of how I go through it with the towns. I just want to show you, if none of the descriptions actually give you your rental income, you can actually find it by going into the rental side, and we're going to search for Moree in New South Wales. Property type, we only want to look at houses, and we're going to search for that. Okay? Now, we're going to do exactly the same thing, back to the list. Couldn't find anything matching your criteria. Okay, so Moree, not the best one to look at houses for rent. I don't know why that is. Moree used to have a lot last time I looked. Let's go back to parks. Okay, that was Cowra. Let's do Cowra. Cowra looks like it had more potential than parks. Let's bring this one back to Cowra as well. Hope I'm not boring you guys. I know it's a little bit tedious, but this process can be a bit tedious. We want to sort again by low to high because we're looking in that lower range. We can see here 2-bedroom little shack, $150 per week. 2-bedroom brick, $165. 2-bedroom lovely style older home, $180. 3-bedroom, $195, and then we go up to $260. So we can see, you know, $150 to $180 for a 2-bedroom property. So if we're looking at, you know, here's a double brick 2-bedroom, $135,000. I'd need to look in more detail into location and things like that, but we can see here 2-bedroom brick property, $165, or this property $180 per week. So if I'm paying $135, and let's say I'm going for the top end, $180, go back to our quick test calculator, we can go $135,000 and $180. So we can see 6.93, which is not too bad. Not great, but not too bad. Now this is how you can do it online without visiting a real estate agent. Obviously the numbers are rough at best. It's not something that we're trying to get hard figures on. What we're trying to do is separate the wheat from the chaff, and we're trying to work out what kind of areas would we look into more. Moree had a really high rental yield, so maybe we'll look into that more and see if that's a worthy investment. Parks, not so much. If we really wanted to dig, maybe we could find a gem in there, but I'm not going to bother wasting my time. Cowra kind of fell between Moree and parks, so it might be worth looking at a couple of properties there. Best bet, if you have decided to look into an area more, then you want to do more due diligence on the area, which is going to have to be another video, and you want to talk to real estate agents about properties and get to know the area more, like get to know where housing commission are and things like that. And again, that's going to have to be another video. So I hope that this has helped you guys. This has been how to find positive cash flow properties or high rental yield towns in Australia. And there was that 4-step techniques. Firstly, Well, let me bring up my Keynote presentation. Come on, Keynote. Oh dear, maybe not. Anyway, what we wanted to do was we went into Google Chrome, we went to whereis.com.au, we looked for towns, we looked for those intersections. We then Googled the town with Wiki or Wikipedia, we found the link in Wikipedia, and then we looked at the population, 9,346. Then we went to realestate.com.au, we looked at the buy section and sorting by the lowest properties, and then we looked at the rent section again, sorting by the lowest properties to try and get an estimate of what the rental yields are in the suburbs. And that's how I first started finding positive cash flow properties. This is time intensive, but it does work, so stick at it, and I hope that this has helped you. This is a lifelong skill that can help you in the future when it comes time to invest.